Beautiful people, welcome back to our YouTube channel and thank you so much for joining today. If this is your first time here, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and support the movement, guys. Thank you so much for understanding. So this guy reached out to me and said, Milton, changing a visitor's visa to a work permit in Canada and changing a visitor's visa to a study permit in Canada, which one is more preferable and easy? Now, guys, please remember that there is nothing which is easy in this life anymore. But with this video, I'm going to break it down slowly. I will break the first one, which is visitors to study visa, and I will talk about the second one, visitors to working visa, so you understand the things that you need to know. Then from there, I will tell you which one I think is the best to take or which one is the best procedure to follow. But before we continue, welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Milton Fonkwa. Thank you so much for following the Anointed Village Boy. Now, let's go back to our video. First of all, what is a visitor's visa? A visitor's visa is a visa that is given to you by the Canadian government or IRCC to immigrate to Canada and stay for less than 6 months or staying for more than 6 months in case you have a job offer. Now, it is not just about having a job offer or what. It is also about the time you go in and anything that you can do, which means that you can use a visitor's visa from your home country, immigrate to Canada, change it to a working permit or a study permit. Now, how do you change a visitor's visa to a study permit? If you want to change a visitor's visa to a study permit, the very first thing you need to do is, first, you apply for the visa. When granted, you now move to Canada. Remember, if you want to change a visitor's visa to a study permit, you have to first of all enroll in a short course or a course that will last not more than 3 months, and then apply for a particular college or a university. 3 months, it should be 90 days, which is less than 95 days, right? Now, you are going to study this course till you finish with the course. Apply now for a college. Remember, you are applying for this college because you want to apply for a study permit. When you apply to this college now, in case the college gives you an offer, then you are now going to use that offer. Then you apply for a study permit. There are a lot of things you need to understand in this case, but remember, you need to first of all start with that small programs for 3 months. Then after that, you apply for your study permit. And remember, if you are applying for the study permit, you need to be applying in Canada, but you will still do the same procedure or the same processes that someone did when the person is still in Africa. Basically, this is how the process is if you want to change your visitor's visa to a study permit. For you to convert these documents, some people actually think that the process is going to be different. No. If you are in Nigeria, if you are in Africa, and you want to do this process of studying abroad, of course, you already know the process on how it functions with IRCC. That's the same process if you use a visitor's visa and move to Canada. You are going to do it. All bank statement, letter of explanation, all those documents must be intact. They must be intact because remember, I said you need to put all the documents together. If you omit one document, IRCC is not going to accept that. So you need to put all the documents together. Remember, when you are converting it, all right, or when you are about to convert it, if you are already in Canada, you need to submit the necessary documents like all your bank statement, your letter of explanation. They must be there. And remember that the proof of funds have to be more as well. 10,000 Canadian dollars for living costs, and the other money for tuition fee, and of course your miscellaneous. In this case, you are already in Canada, so don't worry if there is anything like miscellaneous or stuff. But remember that IRCC is still going to consider you based on the fact that you are a visitor, but you are still an international student. So accept fair play or everything in IRCC. They are not going to look into the fact that you are already in Canada. No, you are in Canada, yes, but your visa is not the type of visa that permits you. You were saying that you were coming for a visit. Now you want to change it. They have to take a lot of things into consideration. You have to understand this, because if you don't, it is not going to be well. I'm just trying to explain these things to you so you understand. But if you think that it will be easy for you to get a job, why not? You can. I realized that the microphone died down, and I have to turn it on, or let me say charge it, but I cannot wait till the microphone is charged before I upload the video. So I will just quickly rush through the video. Now, your employer have to give you what is called LMIA. Now, with this LMIA, you must apply for it. You are not even the one applying for LMIA. Your employer, first of all, need to give you the job and then do the LMIA for you. Your employer is going to apply for the LMIA, and for the LMIA to be approved, they need to check your documents. Remember, this LMIA is going to cost your employer money. And after the LMIA is approved, their employer will give you the LMIA. You will be the one to take the LMIA and go to the next office to convert your visa. It doesn't matter if it is your employer who is going to change your visa, but understand that you must get the document called LMIA from your employer. Now, before the government even gives your employer this LMIA, the government needs to see that the job that your employer wants to give you is a job that was advertised for at least 28 days on any job-related site for Canada, which is like a job bank. 28 days, and there was nobody in Canada to collect this job within the past 28 days that was advertised, or as a permanent resident or as a PR holder, there was nobody in Canada to collect this job. And your employer needs to be a registered employer, because there are some companies in Canada that cannot recruit internationals because they are not registered. When your employer has this and there is a certain amount of money or budget, your employer needs to show that he or she is in possession for at least 1 year. After this, they are going to look into your documents or the files, then give the LMIA to the employer. Now, when the LMIA comes to you, you are going to take it to the various office for them to convert your visa before you can start working. Remember, because of all these criteria, all these things holding your employer, maybe your employer is not that big, and maybe your employer did not advertise the job they want to give you, and because of that, they cannot give you the job because the government will fine them. All right, so these are some of the setbacks now that a lot of companies cannot recruit internationals because they do not have the necessary papers, they may not be qualified, and a whole lot of stuff. So before you start moving to Canada with a visitor's visa with the aim of converting that visitor's visa, you need to know this. You need to know this. It is very, very important, guys. Yes, it is very, very important, because if you do not put this into consideration when you reach Canada, first, you need to have money. Do not take a visitor's visa and move to Canada if you intend to do this process without money, because at the end of the day you are going to run into problems. Put this into consideration. It is very, very important. This is something I said let me explain to you guys so you understand and know what you're actually doing. Converting a visitor's visa to a working permit is possible, but what are your chances? And in this case, do not relent. Go and chase it. If you must chase it, go and chase it, because it's better to go and start chasing in there than to stay in Africa. I have a video I did about this, telling you people. Then the next thing you need to do to know with the visitor's visa is that when you want to change it to a working permit, you need a lot of money to study those courses like I explained to you before. It's just a course, but it's going to last 3 months. This is another problem. Remember, with the visitor's visa, you are going to be in Canada for less than 6 months, 1 day, which means that you can stay maximum 6 months. All right, 6 months is how many days you can calculate, but know that as soon as the 6 months elapses, you cannot stay longer. You are illegal, or you can extend it, which is still a process, and still on IRCC, a lot of process, and money will be spent as well. So now understand that when you get this visitor's visa and you are doing that particular short course, you are going to do it for 3 months before you graduate. Now you are left with 3 months. What will happen before you apply for a school? Then after the school gives you an offer letter before you apply for a study permit on IRCC, your 6 months will be over. But as soon as your documents are with IRCC, you don't have a problem. All right, you can still live in Canada. If your documents are already with them, you can still be there. Nobody will pursue you or of anything. So this is something you need to know and put this into consideration. It is very, very important. That is the only way you can change your visitor's visa to a working permit and a study permit. Do not be deceived. I saw a message from someone telling me that an agent sent him the message saying that he will send money. How much was that? I don't remember. Is it $700 for them to get LMIA? I was just laughing. Guys, you have to be careful. Be careful out here.